And this is my second attempt at doing this. We're going to see if it works a little bit better with the live on YouTube. So Spirit Island is a game I've massively enjoyed. It's cooperative, asymmetrical, absolutely fantastic. So we're going to see if a video series based around Spirit Island is worthwhile. I'm trying out lighting and game content and everything else, and we will see how it goes. So we're going to be playing River Surges Like Sunlight, a great all-round spirit, and I'm hoping to do a sort of semi-campaign thing, possibly, where going through River against various adversaries and scenarios. So, best adversary to start with is the Kingdom of Brandenburg, Prussia. I've no interest in getting my butt absolutely whooped. I have played the game quite a few times. So we're going to play it on level 2. So that means it gets its escalation. So on each board with towns or cities, you're going to add a town to a land without a town. It's got a fast start. So during setup, on each board, add 1 town to land number 3. Let's do that now. Right next to me. And lastly, when making the invader deck, you put one of the stage 3 cards between stage 1 and stage 2. So got the invader deck over here, taking one of the stage 3 cards and putting it in between the 1 and the 2. Now, unfortunately, it seems as though YouTube Live, the camera work isn't quite as good, but you know what? Let's see how we get on. So, only thing to finish in terms of setup is where they're going to be exploring first, the wetlands. So, which is a double-edged sword, because obviously I like wetlands as rivers, but it does put pressure on me right away. So, first turn I'm going to go for double presence, because it's amazing. And let's maximise those sacred sites right away. And we get 2 energy. So I'm going to go for flash floods, so that we don't get a city built right there straight away. And let's go for River's Bounty to generate some energy and move those Dahan around a bit, maybe make them a little bit more effective. Yeah, I like the look of that. I'm not going to be teaching the game or any of that jazz. You might notice this is with the expansion. I would really recommend, if you are enjoying the game and you haven't picked up the expansion, that you do so, because it just massively improves the game, which is already superb. So flash floods, 2 cost energy, 2 damage because it's coastal. Destroy that town. Generate a fear. I'm going to keep the fear mostly out of shot so it's nice and clear when fear is generated. And that's all my fast powers. So we go on to the event deck. This is something that a few people mentioned, oh, that's a bit too much randomness. I really like the addition. Sacred sites are under threat. The invaders have begun to find hidden places of natural power. You may let the island's strength repulse them. Each sacred site pushes 1 explorer or town to an adjacent land, and you remove 1 blight per player from the blight card, returning it to the box. That would be pretty insane, because it will stop all the build on the first turn, which is mad. But it will cost me a blight. Or guard them yourself for well or ill. Costs 3 energy per land where you do damage, aided by fire. Well, I have no energy, and I have no cards with fire, so this isn't a choice. In each land with sacred sites and invaders, either do 2 damage or destroy 1 presence from each spirit. So that would mean I'd have to lose both of those presents. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do the first one, which, removing a blight from this card is pretty disastrous, but you know, at least it has some positives. So should we create a disaster zone? It's probably a good idea. So they get pushed into there. Each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present and moves to an adjacent land if not. Well, let's get him in there. And the Dahan, each spirit with at least 4 Dahan amongst its lands gets a minor power. I only have 3. So that's irritating. Not a great series of events there. So there is no build, which is obviously good. And they explore into the sand. Okay, and then I've got my slow power of River's Bounty, so I can gather up some more Dahan. I can also move around, so let's push this town into there with my board power so that we won't have another city popping up there. And let's pull this guy into here, which puts 2 Dahan in a land, which means we get another Dahan, and I get an energy. Okay, interesting first round there. That's one of the cool things about the event deck, you know, that's created a situation that I never would have predicted. So, if I go for double presence again, I'm not gaining anything extra. Wash Away is going to be pretty effective here, but I kind of need another power card to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to go for gain a power card and 2 presence. So we could go for Veil the Knight's Hunt. Each Dahan deals 1 damage to a different invader. That could go very nicely. The elements are useless for us, but pushing the Dahan as well is really good. Pact of the Joined Hunt, another Dahan based one. Each spirit gathers 1 Dahan into one of their lands and then 1 damage in that land per Dahan present. That could be insane. Steam Vents has got the water that we need, which is destroy, or if I've got lots of mountains, destroy a town. And Growth through Sacrifice. Destroy one of my presents, and then I can either remove a blight from my land or add a presence to their land. That's not really, I mean, it's not really what I need. I think Pact of the Joined Hunt. The only problem is it's slow, whereas Veil of the Knight's Hunt is fast. And I have to be in the land to do the damage. Whereas Veil would let me, for instance, kill that chap in the sand before he builds. And I can use it to combine pretty well with my board power of doing 2 damage. Yeah, let's go with Veil the Knight's Hunt. Okay, so then I need... but actually with Pact of the Joined Hunt, actually with that being slow, I could do that after he's built the town and destroy the town. Yeah, and I'm just aware that sun gives me a lot more than the... Ooh, man, difficult decisions. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Pact, actually, rather than Veil. Very similar cards, interesting choice. Right, and then I get to add a presence. I will add 1 from my cards. And if I'm doing Pact, I need to be in there. Right then, so if we're doing Pact, and that's 2 energy, that's there. Now if I'm doing Pact, then I will not get my board power this round. So do I want Washed Away to mitigate that issue? I think that's a good idea. And Boon of Vigour has a few more elements on it, which could be useful for events. So there's those 2. Event, we're on stage 1. Interjecting discoveries. On each board, choose a sacred site. Gather an explorer into its land and add an additional explorer. Let's have a look what else we've got to do before we make any decisions. On each board, add a disease to the wetland jungle with the most towns or cities. Well, there's only 1 to do, and it's already got a disease there, so that's pretty good. And on each board, remove a blight from a land with at least 2 Dahan. Oh, man. Not getting the result there. So, choose a sacred site and it will gather. Well, actually, if I gather that guy into there... Oh, but then I have to add an additional 1. That means he's going to destroy it. Oh, this is awful. Because whatever happens, they're going to blight a land here. Which is going to flip the healthy island. Oh man. This is bad news bears. Do you know what? This might be the best bet, but then the Pact to the Joined Hunt does basically nothing. I know I can hit really hard here, can't I? Okay, gather him into there. Put another one in there. The wheezing outbreak. Put some more disease in there. And then blight removal doesn't do anything. So ravage, nothing. 2 damage, kills a Dahan, destroys me, puts a blight. This is a terrible start. Oh, I get to mulligan that because it's a 2 blight card and it's a solitaire game. Promising farmlands. Immediately on each board, add a town and a city in an inland land with no towns or cities. 4 blight per people, per player. Man, well, just singing the praises of those event cards, that is an absolute disaster. My sacred sites are pummeling me. And then the Dahan hit back and kill them. Right, so I need to put a town and a city into a land with no towns or cities. Oy vey. A town and a city into a land with no towns or cities. Do you know what? I think here might actually be the best shout. Oh no, not before the build, because I'm not going to do enough damage there even by gathering those guys in. Probably the jungle? Man, this is... Oh, then that's our ranger. Oh gosh, this is terrible. Actually, no, we're fine. Let's go there. Right then, so that was the ravage, then the build into there and there, and then the explore into mountains. Right, and then Pact to the Joined Hunt, gather him into there, and then 1 damage per Dahan, destroys the city, 2 fear, and wash away. Let's wash these 2 away into... It's going to have to be into the jungle, really, isn't it? Oh dear, this is not a good start. I played a game earlier today, and I tell you, the start was a lot better than this one. Right, I've got 1 card left. Now, I'm going to have to reclaim. So reclaim, because I don't want to be adding something to do nothing. I need a power card. I need some defense, man. So, call to migrate. I'm not surprised they want to migrate. Gathering and pushing. I mean, it's very powerful. The voracious growth. Oh, that is good. It's got a water, which I need. It does 2 damage or remove the blight. Sacred sites. Love it. Drought. It's ironic. Destroy 3 towns, 1 damage to it. No, I can't be putting blight on the board. No, not with no blight removal. I think Gift of Constancy. It's too weak to just be playing for myself. So let's go Voracious Growth. And that's an extra energy. And then 2 energy. Okay. So we're going to have a Ravage in the Sands, which is going to be something of a problem, since I can do nothing to stop that, which is going to be more blight. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. I'm not in range to remove that blight with voracious growth. So let's go back to the joined hunt and we can smash that jungle before that comes out. And wash away is probably going to... Oh my gosh, this is so bad. Not a good start at all. I'm not getting any board power. Deary mate, this is bad. With a capital bad. Voracious growth is no use here. Flash floods is no use here. Oh man, we could be on for a loss here. Do you know what? I will go back to the joined hunt and wash away and hope I can mitigate some of the explore. Oh man. Oh, I don't think this is going to end well. Right, nothing there. Event. Man, these events really have kicked my butt. On each board, add an explorer to a land without invaders or Dahan. Not too many choices there. Let's go there. Prey on the unwary. Each beast destroys an explorer. Add a beast to a board that doesn't have one. Gets rid of him. And then rouse the spirits. Each spirit with at least 3 Dahan amongst its lands can use a slow power now instead of later. Well, there are. So I could use wash away now or pack to the joined hunt now. Pack to the joined hunt doesn't need to be fast, but wash away could really stop some bad stuff. So let's use wash away now and wash these guys into here. Cool. Finally the event deck taking a bit of mercy on me. Right, Ravage, no blight, build. We get a city and a town. And then our big 3, explore. Mountains and wetlands. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. This could go very badly very quickly. So, pack to the joined hunt. Going here, 3 damage. Let's wipe out that city. That's 2 fear, which earns a fear card at least. Gosh, we have to hope that's a good one. So those 2 are discarded. New round. So we've got a ravage happening in the mountains. Well, let me count the number of things I can't do about that. So I can flash flood and voracious growth to mitigate some situations, but I've got no way of stopping a blight cascade going on here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Nope, I can see no smart way of fixing this. Of course I can play 2, which would get me up to 3 cards, but that 3rd card doesn't do a huge amount. Or I can gamble and, you know what, I'm just going to have to gamble and hope I get a minor power with some blooming defence. Okay then, we've got Portents of Disaster. Well, that's positive. 2 fear, the next time an invader is destroyed in the target land this turn, gain a fear. Good, but it's a win more card, doesn't really help us right now. Push an explorer, if the land is mountain or jungle, add a wild. Good, but doesn't really help us right now. Call of the Dahan Ways, I don't have enough moons to make it effective. And Visions of Fiery Doom, I obviously don't have the fire to make that great. Oh man. Okay. Not cards that are setting the world alight. Visions of Fiery Doom, probably not the right way to go. Disorientating Landscape. Maybe it's Portents of Disaster. The thing is, Call of the Dahanways does at least have a water on it, which is going to be pretty important if we want to keep using this board power that we've really underused. None of them help me right now. You know what? I'm going to go Call of the Dahanways because it's got the water on it. And then I can place one presence. Oh man. It's got to be in here, really. Got to get another Sacred Site going. So now I can play 3 cards. So 3 Blight are going down this turn. I can remove 1. So we've got Flash Floods. Got to play Voracious Growth. And River's Bounty. This lack of defense is killing me. Man, that fear card is going to have to pull my butt out of the fire here. Outpaced. How appropriate. Humanity has always been faster than you, but the invader's terrifying speed catches you off guard. Each spirit chooses independently for each of their slow power cards played this turn. Oh, God, I meant to do Flash Floods. Flash Flooding there. Stay steady and slow. Discard the power card, gain 1 energy plus the card's printed energy cost. Or work to match their pace. Pay 3 energy or destroy 2 presents. You may choose to resolve those power cards now. Well, we've pretty much lost anyway here. This is so bad. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't have the 3 energy to pay. And I can only destroy 2 of the presents. I can't destroy 4 presents or I'm wiped off the board. So I could destroy 2 presents to do one of them now, and I don't get to do the other one. I have pretty much lost this game. So let's not do Rither's Bounty, and let's get the energy back. Let's get 1 energy. Destroy a presence here and destroy a presence here, which lets me resolve Voracious Growth now, which is of really no benefit. If I heal the Blight, I'm putting 1 more on the card, but I've still got to deal with that guy. Next turn. And whether I could Flash Floods. This is basically moot. There's no way to stop this. So I will heal the Blight. So that's Voracious Growth and Flash Flood's done now. Does that mean that I don't qualify for Massive Flooding? I only get the basic version? Well, that's basically GG there, isn't it? I get to add a disease, ignore disease this phase, so it doesn't do anything. And then I don't have anywhere where Dahan out. Oh no, Dahan outnumber the towns and cities. Each Dahan deals 1 damage there. So that's that, which earns me a fear. Right, without a fear card that is going to save the day, we're done here. Dahan Raid. Each player chooses a different land with Dahan, 1 damage there. Well, that disease-ridden jungle has been dealt with. Okay then, Ravage. So, that is a Blight there, and a Cascade Blight there, and that's a Blight there. Build. That's a city there, a town there, and a town there. And then that is, holy gosh. Man, wetlands and mountains are kicking my butt. There and there, and we put a town in a land that doesn't have one. Well, that is GG right there. Oh, I get to move something, don't I, with my slow power. Whew. Show me something that makes a difference. There's nothing I can do here. That moves to there. Reclaim cards. Gain a power card. I can put defense 10 on 1 spot that I'm in. Defend 5. Somewhere I am. 2 fear. And scour the land. Adding blight. Probably not a good idea. Wait, it's over anyway. I'll go for Sap the Strength of Multitudes. That's an extra power, an extra energy. 2 energy there. I've got 3 cards. So, well, I'm not even going to get later on. So what I need to do is I need to. Was there a card there that added fear in a fast way? No, there wasn't. Because what I need is fear, and I need it fast. But I'm not going to get it fast. So, Flash Floods. And Sap the Strength of Multitudes. And I mean, at this point, this is just academic. And Pact of the Joint Hunt. Do you know what though? Actually, I should at least aim for my top board power. Not that I will get to my slow powers. Massive Flooding destroys that. Generate a fear. Event. War touches the island shores. Do you know what? I will do this. For each board, deal its damage in the lesson with the most towns or cities. So, 0, no damage dealt. On each board, push 1 beast to an adjacent land without blight. 1 fear if invaders are there. 1 fear, no pressure, level 1 fear card, but you need to save the day. Each player may push 1 Dahan to an adjacent land, doing 1 damage there. So there, which kills that. Oh no, that's the place that I have to defend 5. So I don't really need anything there. So you go into there and you kill him. Fear card, level 1. Fear of the Unseen. Each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with sacred site. The 1 place that I have to defend 10. And then Ravage, buckets of damage and loss. That's a real shame. I played the game earlier today and really gave Prussia a run for its money, by which I mean I beat it like comprehensively, and this has just been a series of event-based disasters. Not really an advert for the event deck, although now I can clutch myself and say, well, you know, it was the event deck that caused me to lose rather than my own foolish play. Although I don't think I played it terribly well. That one just really, really, really ran away. Yeah, interesting. Well, hopefully that isn't going to put anyone massively off Spirit Island, as that would be the opposite of the purpose of this video. But we'll see. Okay, hopefully the next Rithers will go better.